Oh, hey guys. Today we're going to do a hard drive replacement for the model here. So this is exactly how the laptop looks like. The exact model for this one here is the HP 15-DB 1007CA or 1007CA. Client came in, his sister-in-law kind of dropped the laptop by accident, and he wanted me to do a quick read on the system, and I couldn't get it to boot because there's just she kind of dropped it pretty hard. So, I kind of just said, you know what, I couldn't even get it to transition on the screen because the screen was messed up. So the only way to actually get the drive to read is to make sure to verify if it's actually reading or not is to open up the laptop. So again, the model is the HP 15-DB1007CA. So, and with this here, the first thing to do is, if you can, just close up the laptop and just make sure you put the screen facing down on your table or wherever you're working at. And this is how it actually looks like. And the first primary goal with this model here is to remove these two plastic strips, if you can see here, because there's actually screws hidden underneath it. So there's one here and one there. And I find that the best way to remove this, which you should be very careful, because if you don't have new double-sided tape to use instead of what is already there, sorry about that, guys. So instead of what's already there, if you want to reuse what you have, the best thing to use is to use a nice pry tool like this one here, as you can see here. Here, let me rotate this, then you get a better image there. So if you look at it here, I just use one of my paring knife, which I use a lot for a lot of my pries, because there's a strip of double-sided tape that's actually underneath this rubber backing, this rubber strip. So you don't want to remove just the rubber strip and leave the double adhesive tape there. What you want to do is just make sure that you use a very sharp pick tool so that you can actually you remove the rubber backing and the double-sided tape and keep it stuck on this. So what I'll show you here, um, so if you look at it here, see I bent this one here. As you can see, it's still tape is still there, because last thing you don't want is to have this tape bent, have the rubber backing bent out, then this tape still stuck on here. So your primary focus is to make sure that when you are prying this little corner, if you get one of the corners, see if you follow my cursor, if you get one of the corners there with your pry tool there, or the bottom right, once you get it up, it should stick to it, and then just slowly peel it across to the other side, and just place it on right parallel, running parallel to where it originally came off from. And I'll show you that here. So that's what I did here. So I just put the strip from the top end up the right running parallel to it, and then the bottom end did the same thing. And as you can see, there's a bunch of screws hidden behind it. So there's three up on top here, then there's an extra four down here. And there's one there and two, one on the left and one on the right. And the good thing with this model here, you don't really have to worry about placing the screws in certain areas of the on the bottom of this case here, because they're all exactly the same length screws and same diameter. So you can just pile them all up together. They're all exactly the same size. All right. So all you do is just remove those screws, and then once you have all of the screws removed, the one area that I checked to see if it was easy for you to remove without even having to use a pry tool, because this model here, you don't need a pry tool with it. So all I did was I kind of faced the screen downwards. Let me show you another picture here. I totally forgot to take a picture of that. And I thought I did. Actually, it's right here. Sorry. So this time here, you open it up into almost like an A-frame, but keeping the screen facing down, the rear bezel of the screen facing down, and then open the laptop up like this and keep it on an angle. And you'll see that here, I literally just put my finger there, and then I just put my fingernail and dug it into there, and it literally just opened up, and you can see how easily it was. And all I did was, this is the top end here, so the customer must have broke doing something to it. I don't know if they've removed it before, but that was already there. And all you do is you literally just run your finger across from left to right, just run it across in between the keyboard top case and the bottom panel, and it'll open up very easily, as you can see here. It's very, very simple, this one here. So there's no pry tool required. You just run your thumbnail across or your fingernail across just from the right side to the left, and they'll just pop. And then round it off here. Just keep going through with your finger to the bottom left here, the top bottom left, and the same thing is on this corner here. Just go from the right side and then go up to the back, and then it'll come off pretty easy. And here's another picture of me just running my fingernails, just going to the back here, and it comes off very simple. And with this one here, I notice what made it really easy to take apart was, as you can see here, it came off pretty easy. But I noticed this section here, it might be a little bit stubborn for you guys. I noticed it wasn't really holding down really tight, but it was holding down a lot. So what I did was I had lifted this section up here, going upwards, and then I just put my hand like around about 3-4 inches on this corner here, and then just kind of wiggled a little bit, and then this part here just literally just unlocked itself from this corner here because it's wrapped around your hinge assembly. So just remember that. But once I had this part here, I kind of just it just popped up, and it wasn't there's you don't have to worry about any wires being attached to the bottom plating of this laptop, so you can just lift it right off completely, and that's that. And then once you remove that, just put that in a safe area there, and then this is what it should look like. So in what I'm doing for this client here, all I'm doing is just literally removing this hard drive here. As you can see, this is a standard 2.5-inch mechanical drive. Um, all he wanted me to do was just to verify 100% for him to see if the drive was readable or not, because his sister-in-law was concerned about the hard drive not being readable, because it wasn't booting into Windows. Excuse me. And then so I'll show you a quicker picture of the top right hand corner here. As you can see, there's only two screws and an aluminum plate that actually holds the hard drive down, and this is a SATA connector here. So all you have to do is remove this screw here at the top right, and then this one here, and then once you have those two screws removed, all you have to do is just wiggle this little plate, because it's kind of sitting on these black dimples here. As you can see, it's sitting on one there, then there's one there. So all you got to do is just wiggle it off, and then it comes off that easy. And then the last step is literally just slide your hard drive to the right side, and just make sure, if you can, because I had to take a picture of this. So best thing to do in this situation here, so that you don't cause any damage to this SATA connector here, is to literally put your left hand and hold that SATA connector here with your left hand, and then with your right hand just slowly grab the hard drive from the top here and there, and then just wiggle it to your right side, and it'll just come apart. And if you do have a 2.5-inch SSD that you already bought, then you know what you need to do. Just put it back in the reverse order, and there you go. If you need to learn how to, if you're not sure on how to make a bootable drive and stuff, I have many other videos that you guys can actually check on. And I just posted another one that was earlier today too, about an hour, 2 hours ago, about reinstalling Windows in a different system. It was a Dell, Inspiron system. So you can easily follow those steps there, because the link is also provided in that video and many other videos to show you how to create a bootable USB flash drive straight from Microsoft.com. I hope that this helped you guys out. And I'll go back to this picture here, just in case, if you guys already have it open and you guys want to, if your battery's not holding a charge. He didn't mention that the battery wasn't holding a charge, but let's just say that if you have the same model and it's not holding a charge, it looks like it's a pretty simple one here. I see one screw there, and one screw there, and then one here also. So there's 4 screw, 2 at the top, one here, one there, and then one here and there. And sorry, there's another one there. So there's 3 at the top left, the middle, and the top right, and then these 2 here. So once you remove that, you can just look at the part number here, because usually HP will say replace part with this. There's a certain part number in there. You can just search for it, or you can search for the model, which is the HP 15-1007CA on Amazon, and just make sure that the ratings are good on the battery that you're buying, because Amazon is really good for verifying to make sure that the part that you're buying is really good, because you'll see hundreds of thousands of buyers buying the same parts. But if you want to match it part for part, and for some reason you can also check out this tag here. It will say replace with HP part number blah blah blah, which a lot of the sellers will actually use also to identify the battery when you're searching for them. And if you wanted to change your memory to up it, and the best thing to do is with this model here, again, just do a search for the motherboard specs with this, because I don't know what the max is. This might accept 2 16 gig memory modules, or 2 8 gigs. But best thing to do is do a search on Google for HP 15-1007CA maximum RAM upgrade, and usually it should send you to a link to where you can actually it'll display on how many gigs of RAM you can actually put per DIMM slot, because there's 2 DIMM slots here. And then you can easily, for you to easily just to replace this, all you have to do is, if you look at carefully with these arms here, there's one arm there and there's one there. All you have to do is just pull it back a little bit on this side, or just pull it down, pull it away from the module itself. Same thing as on the top in there, just pull it away from the module, and this will literally just pop upwards. And when it comes to reinstalling it, it's only there's like a little slot or a cutout on these modules here, which this one here looks like it's right there. And all you do is just match it where it needs to go in. It only goes in one way anyway, so you can't make a mistake. And so whatever your max is, let's say this is 4 gigs of RAM or 8 gigs of RAM, and it allows you to go to 216s, then go buy yourself like a set of 16 gigs of DDR3 or DDR4 memory, whatever it takes. And it's just that simple. So, and as for the CPU fan here too, replacement, his is pretty dirty, but he's not paying me to clean that, so I'm just leaving it as is. But as you can see here, the cable plugs into, probably hidden underneath. It's kind of hard to see here, but it looks like, yeah, this is the power cable for the CPU fan, so it's kind of wrapping around here, so it's probably plugged in underneath the Wi-Fi card. So this is the Wi-Fi card here. So, and with the in with this upgrade here, I've pretty well done what I need to do. But at least if you guys need to replace the battery, you know where the screws are. 3 at the top here, 1, 2, 3, and then this is the 4th one there, and there's a 5th one there. Then all you have to do is just lift the thing out, and then it comes off pretty easy, and just replace that. Same thing as memory module, pretty simple. I hope that this helps you guys out. And if you guys have any questions, just post them on the comments. Please like the video. And, I always try to upload as many videos as I can. Sometimes I get too busy doing other stuff, because I do a lot of retail support for a lot of retailers, like the Body Shop and many, commercial stores, besides doing this and a lot of Mac stuff. But, just subscribe, and then you guys, you'll see other videos too. So thanks for watching, guys. You have a good weekend. Cheers.